hours. We're going to go over the topic of when to use pictures versus videos. I'm seeing a lot of content out there, and a lot of people just seem like whatever time allows, that's what they're going with. And there's definitely a rhyme and reason to it. So we're going to go over that a little bit today. So first and foremost, do quick reminder. Every Tuesday, 2:30, it's free for members. And then 27th, the last Tuesday of every month, I have a workshop. So we'll go over some stuff, do some things, have some fun, answer all the questions, do more talking than I usually like to do, but I want to be sure that I'm giving you the knowledge, the information you need. So first and foremost, we're going to do like a quick 7 to 10 minute, and then we'll do questions, and then we'll be out. So let's talk about pictures versus video. And again, the problem is I think that people are trying to, they're just doing it whimsically. Like, I'm going to do a picture this time. I'm going to do a video. It doesn't really matter. Where in reality, it does matter. There's definitely a time and a place to do pictures versus videos when you do your content. And you need to know that to help you save time, to organize your marketing more efficiently, to structure yourself. Like there's a lot of reasons to do this the right way. And don't just switch back and forth whenever you feel like it or whenever you just have the time to do it. That's crazy. So first and foremost, if you see from the notes, we use images for clarity, right? We want to create an image or even a series of images. If you want to do like a carousel, those are very effective as well. But you want it to point at a very specific situation. It's like a stop sign. Think of it that way. So your pictures are basically stop signs, and you have a very short, very punchy, very quick reminder that you want to address with people that are ready to raise your hands, right? You're saying, hey, listen, I've got an event. Here's my blog. We have this thing going on. And here's a quick and short picture to help you decide whether or not want you to stop and check this thing out. All right. Um, I'm sure there's gonna be questions about where I get pictures and stuff too. We'll leave that in the Q&A, but there it is. The short and skinny of it. Use your pictures as a stop sign to get people to address or point at something you want them to stop and quickly read. So that means when you're using video, you want it to be more interactive, right? You want it to be more back and forth. You want it to be more explanatory. It's going to be more than a one sentence or a two sentence ordeal. It's going to be a 30 to 60 seconds. It's going to be 90 seconds. Sometimes it's going to be long form if you have a webinar or if you've got a lot of information to provide. Um, Always try to give yourself an option of doing a 30 to 60 seconds. So even if your video is 3 minutes, 4 minutes, go back and chop it up sometimes too to help you create some marketing. But you want that video to be something more interactive. You want them to draw out and get more engaged, more involved. You're going into more detail. What I'm going to tell you is that be sure without a doubt that you start with a really solid hook. Be sure the first things out of your mouth are why the person needs to continue to watch. Even if you yell or say something or do something at the hook, and then afterwards kind of backtrack into the explanation, however you want to format it. I always, when I teach my marketing, I say hook first, the content itself, and then the call to action. There's always three steps to it, but be sure that hook really grabs them because you're going to try to get their attention for 30, 60 seconds, a minute, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, and it's got to resonate, right? So really what that comes down to is you have pictures that are stop signs, and then you've got the videos as more like a yellow light. If I'm going to continue doing the traffic analogy here, it's a yellow light where they should slow down, they should check it out, they should see what's going on, and they should take it all in. And there you go. Be sure that no matter what you do, all right, so let's backtrack. So be sure that before you decide what you want to do, before you're like, should it be a picture? Should it be a video? Know your audience. Identify what you want or need that content to do for your audience and have a clear CTA. Have a clear call to action. I need my audience to stop and read the blog. Picture. Get it. I want the audience to know that in 3 weeks I'm doing a workshop and this is what it's going to be about. Video. Right? There's clear times that you really want them to stop and take it in. And there's very clear times where you want them to just stop and keep rolling and have it remembered in their mind. So you need to know who your audience is, what your goal is with that content. Do not, and please stop posting just to post. Does not do you any good. Be sure you have a very specific goal in mind. Be sure you're intentionally trying to get their audience, trying to get their eyes. And even if it doesn't always land, it's doing the thing you want it to do and you need it to do. Cool. All right, so there it is. Make sure you're clear, make sure you have momentum, and then of course, closing section, images help people understand, videos help people respond. So pick the one that matches your goal. That's my outgoing phrase. So there you go. Like I said, ooh, 5 minutes today. Very good. Let's have a few questions that goes with what we got going on here today. So first and foremost, yeah, where are we gonna get pictures? Yeah, where are we getting our pictures? So we get pictures, depends on what you want to do, right? So if let's say you're doing a behind the scenes, you're gonna want to be a picture of what you just take a picture with your phone. It could be the you sitting at your desk or something happening in your room. I usually do motivational things every morning just for fun, and it's always stuff that's happening around me or happening I see out and about or stuff with the family. I take actual real pictures and I use that. And then so that's one way. Another way is just like stock shutter, or you can use stock photos if you want to. Canva. I always use Canva for a lot of this stuff. Canva's a great way to do things. And then, of course, AI. So let's do the AI talk because I do use it for AI, but I've also trained it. I'm not taking too many generic pictures out of AI. If I'm using it and I'm making something, it's with very specific intention. I've trained it with all the live local marketing stuff. I've fed it the internet, the website. I've fed it a lot of the content. It knows the ins and outs and it knows what it is we're trying to do. I've fed it the goals. I've given it prompts asking me what it needs from me to know exactly what we're doing, and I've answered all those questions. I've gone through all those things. I've fed it all the stuff. I've given it samples of writing. I've done things. So it knows Live Local very well. So when I ask for pictures, a lot of times I'll say, all right, give me 5 or 6 suggestions of what this topic should be. Or what the picture should be. Here's the topic. Here's what I'm trying to do. Here's my goal. Here's what I need my audience to do. And it gives you a couple of suggestions. Sometimes I go with it if I'm, moving along a little faster. But if I am like I do my blog in the morning and I have some time to stop and actually think about it, then I'll usually stop and I'll just, brainstorm. If I was the audience, what would I want to see? What would, at least catch my attention? Is it another generic like entrepreneurial thing with like a brain and a computer and a school board in the background that everybody posts? Or is it something that I took a little time, thought it through? I knew my audience, I knew the types of things that they like, and I gave it a prompt that kind of themed it that way. I also like to mix things up. I do cartoons a lot. I do three-dimensional cartoons a lot. I do cardboard. It's a cool little feature for it too. I do a lot of things like that. Sorry, we had a doorbell here. I don't think we saw a person. Um, oh yeah, there you go. Sorry, I missed your question. My sorry about that. So, sorry, off track again. I'll do pictures. I just did one recently that it was a entrepreneur that was getting better at speaking, and so I goofed around and I used a picture of a DeLorean to do like the Back to the Future type thing, and I slapped that in there. Just for fun. So I mix things up a little bit. I use the AI, but I've always trained it. I don't do generic stuff. Those are always where I get my pictures from, or Canva, or I take them in real life. Do you automatically enter all the business information to the website or leave it up to them? Are you talking about AI? So I think the question was, do you automatically enter all the business information to the website, or so if I'm creating websites for other businesses, no, I don't always leave it up to them. I have a discussion and I have a form that I have them fill out that we do together about the pain points of their business, the background of their business, some of the things that are important to them, their avatar, their business values. Like there's definitely a audit form, as I call it, that I fill out and have them give me all the information about their business that I know. And it kind of gives me a solid idea of what the content on the website should be when I help them make websites. trying to make it personalized as I can. And sometimes they'll say, all right, I want this, or I want to change that, or I want to change this. And we have that discussion. But I always get background first and then I fill it in and see how it goes. That was one question. I also do other, what other questions do businesses usually ask if they create after they create a commercial. Where it's going to go. That's the biggest question. So if I sit down with a business owner and they're like, we made a commercial, like they almost always ask like, oh, where are you going to put this? And so they want to know how you're going to get that out there. And I always put it in my email to my entire audience. I put it on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and we do a little bit of TikTok, not a ton of TikTok. And then I put it on YouTube. So I have it all those other places. And then I've gotten into a really cool habit, and this is actually new-ish. Opus is a program. AI chops up your videos. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but if you check it out, you can take your 3, 5, 20-minute video, throw it in Opus, and it'll give you like 45-second clips. And now they're actually letting you do scheduling out of that too. You can grab that clip specifically and you can schedule it through your social media. So I can go in there now, which is what I'm doing this week, mess around with it. I'll take my clip from an interview, I'll put it on TikTok directly through the Opus platform too. So I'll do like 4 parts. I'll take the interview and I'll break it into 4 parts. Part one, two, three, four. And at the very end, I give links. Part five is giving links to the full interview. So that way the people like watch it day after day and little clips from it. So Monday I put part one, Tuesday I part two, and I just have those little snippets of the interview. So that way they can take it in little pieces. And at the very end, if they wanted to watch the whole thing all together again, I give them the link to the full interview. So I do things like that as well. Opus is good. Social media is good. And that's usually what they care about is where is it going to be and how are they going to get attention. Yeah, that's typical. Yeah. You ever need help with social media and marketing support? So do I need help? I usually don't. Like, at one point I had a team. I really don't have a team anymore, but most of it's so automated and easy. I try to simplify it if I can't sit down in the morning and do it in like 2 hours. Um, then I need to simplify it because marketing isn't my business. I have a business. Marketing's a part of it. So I'll schedule a lot of, I'll create it and then I'll schedule it out. I often put it in a scheduler I use later, but there's Hootsuite, there's a million different platforms where I'll create the content, I'll chop it up, I'll upload it to like later or Hootsuite or wherever you want to be, and it just stays in there. And then I'll have AI help me make like little descriptions for that content. And then I save it in my Google Drive. So that way I copy it, paste it, schedule it out, and it only takes me a few minutes once I get them in there and I get kind of a flow going and consistency. So if you were to look at my later platform right now, it would have about 30 short videos of local businesses. And then on my phone, I've got all the descriptions saved on my phone. So it really only takes me 10, 15 minutes in the morning to choose a certain one to put in and then the description. Now, if I'm making new ones, obviously that's different. When you make a new one, again, you produce it, you put it out there, you do the email. I have a checklist that I go email, YouTube, social media, grab the clips, put the clips in later, the program later, and get a description, and then it's in there forever, and I don't have to do anything again. So I have systems in place and things that I do to create that consistency. Um, but it shouldn't take you very long once you've got it in your system and once you're doing it over and over again. And if it's taking you more than an hour or two, yeah, go back and look at it again. You could probably make things easier and more simple. I hope those help. I hope we got the notes this time. I think last time the notes didn't work. Yeah, I don't think they worked yet. I gotta figure out this notes. I'll copy and paste and put them in there. I get the question about, man, I don't need closing. Sorry, give me 2 seconds. I can have the notes from this lesson in here. I'm gonna have to break it up. It only lets you do 1,000 at a time. The other question I always get is video editing. I usually just use Canva just because Canva is so easy. Canva will even now let you take like a picture, and I've been doing this a lot lately too. Or I'll grab like a picture of uh, a business, in the storefront of a business, and then have it in the background. And you can even, once you have the picture, you can click on it and it'll let you add a little video off to the side. And so I can do a quick description of myself. It's got like a little small portal. And you can do, hey, this is I stopped by at Easy Thai, grab some food. They're open these hours. It was a really fun little spot. And those are quick and easies you can do as well for businesses. I really prefer to meet the owners and to do the whole video, but sometimes if you already know them or if you've already done a video with them, sometimes shorts or quicks like that are nice. Or if you know they have an event coming up, you take the event and you take that picture and throw it in Canva, and then yourself in the bottom corner, like, hey, they got something coming up. You should really have attended. It's gonna be Thursday from 5 to 7. Hope to see you there. But I do a lot of the videos in Canva, and I try to keep it as simple as possible. Or you make your video and it's just raw, it's just live. A lot of people are gravitating towards that and not doing any editing at all. So that way it's much faster. There'll be some mistakes, some things happen, not a big deal. So yeah, so either I do Canva or I do it live. I have in the past done it like Adobe. That was okay. And there was another one WeVideo. I stopped using WeVideo, but WeVideo is another one. So I try to keep my video editing cheap and simple because I want it to not take up a ton of time. And I'm not making giant productions or anything like that. I'm just doing quickies and 3 minutes here, 5 minutes there. So it's not very in depth, but those are the two platforms I usually do my video in. Any others? Oh yeah, the notes from last time are in here too. That's neat. I'm learning a lot from Zoom. As many times as I practice with the Zoom, what I'll do is I put my kids on the other end and I'll do this end. I'm still learning stuff, still figuring out. You gotta get the reps in. Tutorials don't always help either. But anyway, that's all right. So that's a quick notes are in the side there. When to use pictures, when to use video. It's a very specific time and a place to do both. And it would help save you time because if you know your goal is to broadcast an event you've got coming up, or if you have a blog that you want to do and you want people just to stop and slow down, you know you need a picture. But if you want to describe and explain something, you know you need a video. So just to save you time on when to use it and why to use it and what it's for. Um, I hope that helped. Any other questions from the group? Cool. Like I said, the 27th, the last one, I'll do a workshop. I'll let you know the topic and we'll go over some fun things. It'll teach a course. It'll be the same 30-minute window. And then we have it on the website as well. As always, if you need something, easy to get a hold of me. livelocalmd@gmail.com is the email, or the forum on the website, or whatever works for you. Cool. Otherwise, if there's no more questions, we'll do it early then. Get on your day. Do all the things. Have fun. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this information was super helpful for you.